Hello and welcome to the top 8 of the Seattle Regional Championship. My name is Kenny Wisdom and we are watching the quarterfinals between Oscar Morales and Kian Amini. Both of these players are from California. They are, as far as I understand, they're good friends and they've been meeting here in the top 8. I'm not sure where they're at for their invites or anything like that. Not very familiar with a lot of the California crew, but they're both pretty well-known players. I'm pretty sure they're both just fine, and it looks like Kian's going to be playing a Seismitoad deck, and Oscar is playing opens with a Manectric. Not sure what that indicates. Could be a few different things, but Kian's going to start us off, and we'll see what we get here. Headringer turn 1's got to be pretty good, especially when you have that DC up on the Toad. Laser damage for Oscar. And there's a battle compressor. So this could be the Ho-Oh Manectric deck. Could be the Ho-Oh Black, or so it could be the Manectric Black Kiram deck. This battle compressor would tell us a lot. I'm seeing a lot of water, and yep, there we go. So he is playing the Manectric Black Kiram deck that Chase Maloney played to a first seed finish yesterday. Chase Maloney and Trevor Reed both played it at the Washington State Championship and finished in the top 8. David Cohen played it in the Vancouver, British Columbia State Provincial Championship and finished in the top 8. So, deck that not everyone's playing, but the people who have been playing it are playing it to very solid results. So we see a battle compressor getting an Egg, Juniper, and an Empoleon. Juniper going in to be a Versus Seeker target. And there's the Versus Seeker there. So starting with this is kind of rough for Oscar, being no lightning energy in hand. He is currently under Headringer lock. He's taking a damage from poison, and he knows he's getting Quaking Punch next turn as well. Drops another Manectric onto the bench. You see 2 Megas in his hands along with a Jirachi and N. Looks like he's considering an Ultra Ball. And if you're Oscar here, you've got to be feeling pretty bad. This deck, I'm not sure what changes have been made for Expanded, but in Standard, this deck really wants to be explosive. It really wants to get down a Manectric with a Spirit Link as soon as possible, get some energy both on board and in the discard pile. In fact, that can be one of the most difficult things about the deck is managing your resources between, you're not going to battle compress all your energy away, but you do want energy in the discard pile, but your attackers do require 2 energy, so it's kind of a struggle there. So Oscar didn't miss an energy here, but he is being Headringered, which is sort of like missing it, so it's not a great spot to be in. See Oscar Ultra Balling for that Keldeo and shipping the turn back. Kian drops a Keldeo of his own along with a 3rd Seismitoad. Just gonna go ahead and Juniper. Ooh, and another Headringer and a Crushing Hammer. Wow, this could be big. See a Mana. That second Headringer's got to be devastating for Oscar. I agree with the play of playing the Manectric. I don't think you can really just hope not to play it, I don't think you can really wait not to play it until you have a Spirit Link in hand, but instead it's a Quaking Punch and shipping the turn back. Looks like we might just see a Mega Evolve here, but it's going to be rough because Oscar has an N, so it looks like he's debating between Mega Evolving, which will trigger the passing of the turn because there's no Spirit Links on board, or just playing the N, and it looks like he's going to go ahead and play the end. Try and drum up something. I think he'd really like a lightning and a Mega Evolve, and then from there he has to choose whether he wants to Mega Evolve the active, which would heal the poison, or but also it's it's active, it's being attacked, or Mega Evolve the benched and kind of have to deal with the repercussions. He would just be able to retreat it, but he's also looking for an energy, and it stings. There's no energy in that hand. He does have a computer search, and he does have the Mega, but he's gonna, yeah, so there's a passing of the turn. There's a float stone on the Keldeo. Gonna allow a Russian retreats whenever Kian feels like it. And there's the mana. So if you're wondering what happened, the mana has an ability where you flip a coin. If heads, your opponent's Pokemon is asleep. If tails, your active Pokemon is asleep. Tails was flipped, rendering that Seismitoad asleep. Not going to matter, because as we said, Kian does have the Russian retreat via the float stone on the Keldeo, so just kind of a little bit of free value for him. Attaches a water, preparing for an eventual grenade hammer. But for now, just going to see a clicking punch up to 110. There's the Mega Evolve and the pass. Obviously can't play the Spirit Links. Can't do anything fun like that. Kian takes the Juniper, puts back a Crushing Hammer. An evolution into the mana, a Muscle Band, another DC on the Seismitoad, and a Juniper. So when you're playing the Seismitoad deck, anytime that you can get set up 2 Seismitoads, not technically perfectly because the second Seismitoad does not have a Muscle Band on it, but regardless, it's very, very strong to have a Seismitoad and a backup Seismitoad. And there's the knockout. And now things are on a little bit more of an even playing field. Lightning Energy is the draw for Oscar, but it's just so hard because he's still behind. He's probably going to have to attach to the Mega and retreat to the normal Manectric. He's choosing to attach. Wow. He's choosing to attach and pass, and he gets immediately punished with the Flare Grunt. This Musharna allowing Kian to take a look at the top 2 cards of his deck, take one, put one back on top. There's a water on the second Seismitoad with the Muscle Band. You're going to see 50 damage come down. Didn't quite see what the draw was. Oscar's forced to pass the turn back. Go ahead and activate Musharna again, take a laser. There's the Verbank. Laser flip is a tails. Let's go to 130 on that Manectric. Yeah, Oscar's in a really tough spot here. Gonna have to go ahead and retreat his Manectric. Promote the other Manectric and just basically let it be fed. I don't know if this version's playing Rough Seas. Rough Seas is one of the cards that could help him out here. There's another laser. Takes the trump card. We're securing back the team flare grunt, just trump card. Keep the flare grunt in hand in case Oscar does attempt a mountain offense. If I'm speaking a little quietly here, it's because this room, as we spoke about yesterday, the room was not super full to begin with, and now it's very not full. There's a small LC going on, and then we have the top 16 of the VGC and the top 8 of all the divisions. So there's not a whole lot of people here. There's the knockout and just the concession, and Kian is going to take game 1. As always, On the Bubble is brought to you by Top Cut Central. Check out topcutcentral.com for all your sealed product and accessories needs, as well as singles and anything else you might need. If you want to get some of those Rayquazas, if you need Shamans, anything like that, definitely check out topcutcentral.com and use the coupon code BUBBLE for 10% off your order. While the players are shuffling up, we'll talk about the rest of the top 8. We have Andrew Jackson versus Tristan Cox. I just saw Andrew be handed a playmat, so I'm assuming that means he lost. Usually the losers collect their prize and leave. We have Chase Maloney versus Elijah Kovitz. I know Chase is playing Evil Tall Archeop, so if Chase wins, we'll definitely try and get him on stream at some point during the day. Then we have this match, Kian Amini versus Oscar Morales, of course. And then we have Mia Violet versus Millie Ramirez. Featured both of those players yesterday. So, some good names here, I think. You know, the story is being told. Mia has her invite. Chase has his invite and is fighting for a number 1 through 5 player in the world spot. Kian is up there, too. I'm not sure what his ranking is, but he's definitely in that conversation. Chase is also... This is his 5th regionals or states top 8 out of 5 he has attended. So yeah, just pretty dominant performance by Chase. A lot of players, I think 4 players in this top 8 have their invite. These two, Chase and Mia, maybe a 5th, but nice. Not the most well-known players in the world in this top 8, but a lot of solid players, of course. And double Keldeo starts. Gonna lead us off. Oscar draws a Manectric for the turn. Lightning Energy, Egg, and some supporters in hand. I have to imagine we'll just see a Juniper. That's the kind of Juniper you like to see in this deck. It's you attach an energy turn 1, so you're not behind, and you're getting rid of 2 energy of different types, which are nice. And I think you also do the Spirit Link. Oh, maybe that was a Floatstone. Okay, so Floatstone comes down, which is important. After this item starts attacking, it's not going to be able to happen. Battle Compressor also can't be played after that, so it's nice to get the dead cards out of your deck first. And although this turn, you know, Oscar's not really doing anything he wouldn't have done, even if he wasn't playing against Seismitoad, one thing you will definitely see is that players will overextend, play out all their trainers, play out all items, rather, and really try and just get rid of all of their items for playing Seismitoad, because if the Seismitoad deck works and is competent, you will not be able to play items for the majority of the game, maybe the rest of the game. So yeah, we see Oscar resolving the battle compressor now, just deciding what cards to take. And there's a retreat from the Keldeo, bringing the Manectric forward. Kian, crushing hammer, tail. So all the crushing, another crushing hammer, another tail. So that's going to be pretty big for Oscar. All of the, this deck really needs 2 energy to survive, and 2 energy doesn't sound like a lot, but it definitely can be when you're playing against a deck with Team Flare Grunts, crushing hammers, and that sort of thing. So sticking that energy, assuming that Kian doesn't have a Team Flare Grunt or another crushing hammer, sticking that energy and being able to attach next turn as well is going to be huge for Oscar, and really put him in the game, put him in this game in a way he wasn't in the game last game. Ooh, and there's a basic water on the Seismitoad as well. No Quaking Punch this turn, and Oscar's off to a great start. Kian stumbling a bit. There's the flip. It's heads. That could actually be big. That could slow Oscar down a bit, but still he's fine with just, Spirit Linking, Mega Evolving or something like that. It's not going to be any Quaking Punch pressure. And here's the sleep flip. It is a head, so either way, Oscar's going to be able to make some things happen. Lysander's trump card is a draw. I imagine we'll see an attachment and a Juniper here. And there's the Spirit Link and the Mega Manectric. I didn't see if there's another target for the Manectric energies to go on. And there's a VS Seeker. Well, Battle Compressor coming down first. You see Oscar consider playing the VS Seeker, trying to again play out all the items that he can. Chase won game 1? Nice. Chase Maloney has won in game 1. We have confirmation. We see this Battle Compressor resolving, getting rid of a Letter, a Spirit Link, and an Acrobike. Oscar just choosing to get rid of the items at this point. Another Battle Compressor. Getting rid of an Ultra Ball. I did see a Rough Seeds with Oscar shuffling, so Rough Seeds is an option, both to bounce over bank and to heal up those Manectrics.
Were you watching Chase's match or?
No. Getting rid of 2 Ultra Balls, and yes, at this point, Oscar's just really trying to drain his deck of items and make his draws as live as possible. I think he's going to keep the things like the Versus Seekers that are so powerful if he does get free turns, but things like, Battle Compressors and whatnot, doing this, he just drained 6 cards out of his deck, and just those were 6 potential dead draws that just aren't there anymore. So super strong plays. Unfortunately, I don't think that Oscar has anything to attach the energy to after he's gonna attack with Mega Manectric here, but he has gotten a few fortunate turns, so it's not that big of a deal, and he can touch the Keldeo. Keldeo is a reasonable attacker. There's a second Keldeo for Kian of Burbank City comes into play, and we're going to see a Juniper as well. And there's a second water on that Seismitoad. We're going to do things the old-fashioned way. Laser. There's the tails. And so Kian missed the Quaking Punch the first turn, but we're going to see it now. Oscar's done a pretty good job of draining his deck of all of the items. Hopefully he can have some reasonable draws. Just have the Juniper in the hand from last turn. Did Andrew win? Did Andrew win?
Yeah. Just never showed.
Wait, really?
Yeah, you just just
Oh.
didn't show. So you gotta
Looks like Andrew Jackson's opponent did not show, so he will advance to the top 4. And there's a Juniper from Oscar. There's the Russian retreat. Gonna go ahead and clear the damage with the Rough Seas. Attack for 110. Wisely put the energy on the Manectric. And this is something, if you watched our earlier, we featured Chase Maloney playing this deck in a standard format during day 1, and he, one of the very powerful things is just putting energy onto the Manectric again. Obviously, you have the Black Hurons in there for a reason. You have the Keldeo that can even attack, but just being able to stream the Manectrics, it's not going to be perfect for Oscar because he has a Headringer instead of a Spirit Link on the Manectric, but just being able to basically power up two really efficient attackers is important, and then in the later stages of the game you can move into the Black Huron. Another mana joins the bench for Kian. Interestingly, this Rough Seas is going to be healing Kian's Toad and Keldeos too. I didn't really think about that, but I do think because the damage output of the Manectric is so much higher, although it is a cost, I don't think that I think it's definitely going to benefit Oscar way more. And there's the 3rd and 4th Crushing Hammerheads this game. Got to be pretty frustrating for Kian. Top deck is a Floatstone, and we are going to see a knockout on that Seismitoad this turn. And Kian has 2 cards in hand, didn't see the contents of it, does not have a second Seismitoad ready to go, so we could see Oscar run away with this game. Oscar considering his plays. And there's the knockout and the concession by Kian. Not wanting to play out the game anymore, we are moving to a game 3. So yeah, like we said, Andrew Jackson has advanced. Chase Maloney is up a game. I don't know the results of the other game as we're moving into, or other match rather, as we're moving into game 3 here. I'll definitely keep you updated. Both players shuffling up. So yeah, I think the VGC event was ran on Saturday this year, whereas usually ran on Sunday, and it's made for a much nicer atmosphere. We have quite the large hall, and it's very calm, lots of open space, lots of free tables for people to play. It'd be much nicer to do it that way. I think it's probably better for everyone involved, really. Let's work on the staff, let's work on all the players. I'm interested to see why it wasn't done that before, but I'm glad they're experimenting with it now, and we are off. I'm going to go ahead. Considering ultra balling away 2 lightnings, we can get a Jirachi to play supporter off the ultra ball, but decides the battle compressor first. Taking the pretty standard cards, Egg and Empoleon, both cards that you want in your discard pile in the water. Because he has energy in hand, might as well just take the water and be able to Manectric it later. Not a huge loss. I don't see any supporters of the Colress in Kian's hand, so this could be rough. I do see some, I see 2 head ringers, so he could, stall the game out a bit, but you're going to need some fortunate draws as long as Oscar's able to execute his game plan. There's the Ultra Ball, discarding Lightning and an Ultra Ball for the Jirachi. And getting the Archies. Going to be able to just get that turn 1 Empoleon. Play the Rough Seas, play the Archies with no cards in hand, put the Empoleon back, draw 5 cards. Boom. This is the 3rd turn 1 Empoleon we've seen on stream this weekend, so it's been pretty nice. And the selection of 5 cards is also pretty nice there. I have to imagine we're going to see the Spirit Link dropped, another Manectric played, and probably just a passing of the turn. There's Spirit Link. Oh yeah, Escape Rope as well. Big for Oscar. Another Battle Compressor. Some water. Battle Compressor. One remaining card, Lysander's trump card. Float Stone on the Black Kiran. And passing of the turn. We're going to see a Colress for 3. Yep, alright, so this turn, these next 3 cards are going to really determine how this game goes. Kian can certainly draw something reasonable, but he's also only getting 3, so we'll see. Crushing Hammer will do some work. No, that's a Tails. We see a Water now. I think the last card was an N. So definitely have some things going on. There's a water, and there's the game. Oscar Morales wins 2-1 over Kian Amini and advances to the top 4 here in Seattle. So not sure of the result of the other games yet, but congrats to Oscar. Going to go ahead and earn that trophy and move on up. And so I'm really excited to see we have a Black Kiran Manectric deck, and he will be playing against Andrew Jackson. Not sure what he's playing. And then we have, I believe, Chase will be playing. Chase Maloney, the winner of Chase Maloney's match will be playing against the winner of Mia Violet's match, I believe. I don't have the exact bracket in front of me. So, congrats to both Kian and Oscar, and good games, and we'll see you back for the top 4.